Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review in the kitchen. I do apologise for the unkempt hairstyle, need an haircut. So, from St. Peter's Brewery, like I've said, one of my absolute favourite national breweries, delivering a modern traditional beers across their range of beers, a substantial range as well. This is their India Pale Ale, floral flavours with hoppy notes and toffee aromas. 5.5%. So, do apologise, the ninja is on in the background. I'll grow up one day. I don't know when, but I will grow up. On this beer review, I'd like to thank St. Peter's personally for sharing my whiskey beer review. On this channel, I try to keep, I try to be positive. I try not to swear, and and be a positive force for the beer industry who are going through tough times, as we all are. Life is extremely tough at this moment in time. Hopefully that will catch the thumbnails, otherwise I'll just get a thumbnail separately. So it's a golden pour, white head, crystal clear, bit of carbonation going off. So what did it say? It's a hoppy aroma coming off it. I'm not really getting the toffee at the moment. We get what we get. Don't be frightened if you don't get what you get. Not everybody's nose can get everything. Sometimes you will get different flavours. We all get what we get from beers. Um, Sometimes I struggle massively. Sometimes I'll get stuff and I'm like, that's not even supposed to be in the beer. So it is what it is. Uh, Beers change in the bottles. Sometimes the beer changes. And this is, 1 minute, did say the ninja was on. Yeah, it's just warmed up. It's just doing its thing now. Cooking dinner for the wife. Uh, I'm a good lad. I do as I'm told. Yeah. No, it's not that bad. But yeah, I know when to play the game. And, in the grand scheme of things, the women are in charge of the world, not the blokes. We all know that. You just got to keep them sweet, or to the best of our ability at least. So, on the taste, the floral kicks in, and it's quite intense. There's an intensity to it as well. And this is where, yes, I review beers, but yes, it's always great to go back to beers, a couple of years, a year or so on, and or 2 years on, and go through that range. This is what I did with St. Peter's Brewery. I've already reviewed them in the days when the channel was actually starting to grow, really. And obviously now we're on like 3,420 something subscribers, and it's growing. I'm still a way off being anywhere what you would call a popular YouTuber, although um, active. I'm probably the most active of all the YouTubers across beer tubers across Britain, without a shadow of a doubt. Across all social media groups and that, and all about growing the channel and putting good beer reviews out there, which is what I try to do. And obviously, with my personality, I'm not perfect, but none of us are perfect in the grand scheme of things, are we? I have a love of beer. I have a love of good beer, and that's why I do what I do. I use beer as my way of giving me chill for the day. It eases me out. It's a hobby that I absolutely love. Make no bones about it. I have lots of hobbies. I gardening, family, dogs. Well, not so much at the moment, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I have many hobbies, and beer is just one of them. And the love of beer and wines and spirits, obviously. But yeah. So anyway, on with the beer. Now I'm hoping to get down to St Peter's. Well, I am getting down to St Peter's in March. Um, so I'm hoping I've got some pennies as well. So I'm going to go in the shop. We're going down to the brewery. We are going to the brewery. Probably all three families, because there's three families going. Um, we're stopping for a long weekend. And it's the wife's birthday a few days before, on the 13th of March. So we'll probably go out for a meal on the birthday, and we'll probably celebrate a birthday that weekend with a drink and that. But I want to go to St Peter's Brewery, obviously. It's been on my radar for years. I do love theme parks, so Lowestoft theme park, Pleasurewood Hills rather, Lowestoft is not far away, that side of the world. From me, from here in Nottingham, it's about 3.5 hours, so it's not always easy to do. And, with our car issues at the moment, getting started, it's really, really difficult at the moment, but you know, one day we'll get lucky. Yeah, one day. It's put me off car mechanics for life, just recently, but um, I'm really pleased as well, because obviously, for those who didn't know who watched this, who don't follow social media and the wider world, St Peter's was took over about a year and a half ago, I think it was. Might have been more than that now. And yet the business has stayed pretty much the same from what I can see at least. And St Peter's, for me, have got a great social media. They're quite active on social media. Social media is king these days. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's social media that has helped build this channel. Not word of mouth, social media. And I talk to people even now, and I've been doing beer reviews since 2018, mainly just for myself, not really for anybody else at the time. And it got so, it grew so much. But the people that come to me, even now, have said, in COVID times, I watched your channel, and it helped get me through dark times. And the realization of this is the fact that it got me through dark times, just talking to a phone and talking rubbish half the time, but going down the avenues, my old workplace and that, and trying to be very careful about what you say and what you don't say, because sometimes you've got to be very careful. Luckily, in that way, even when I'm drunk, I'm usually pretty decent. And to be fair, most people know that none of us are perfect in that, and we all might say something we shouldn't say for a single fraction of the moment, especially when you've had a beer. So there's beers, as a range of beers, these guys and ladies make some absolutely amazing beers. St Peter's Mild, if you can still get it, is an absolute stunner. I would not be happy if that was not bottled still, because it is an amazing beer. I'm hoping, actually, I don't know how long kegs last, mini kegs, but if I can pick up a mini keg of St Peter, one of the St Peter's beers that I really like, and store it until July, that would be amazing. I don't know if that's doable. I don't know if kegs last that long. I mean, in barrel, beer lasts in barrel until you crack it open. I'm not so sure about imperial styles because of the percentage of the ABV, whether that lasts longer, and it doesn't really matter if you crack the barrel. But obviously, beers that are lower ABV, once you break the seal, that's it. You've got a small window of opportunity. So interesting it is. Not long for me dinner. So, like I say, there's a hoppy aroma. I'm not getting the toffee on the aroma. I'm not getting it. No, not at all. The taste, lovely floral taste, very different to a lot of IPAs. The IPA, the interpretation of IPA is India Pale Ale. seems to be lost because IPAs can be anything these days, and everyone's got their own interpretation of the style. So that's where the interesting thing with styles is. Go out.
Sorry for putting my plate away.
Yeah. Doors closed. This is the problem with doing beer reviews in the kitchen. Doors closed and they're still barging. Children. But anyway, as you can see, cracking beer, an amazing brewery. I'm probably one of the biggest fans, certainly amongst the beer reviewers, of St. Peter's Brewery. I love the birdie as well. I've never really noticed the birdie on the front. Um, but yeah, interesting to see where they go forward. New beers, because new beers are always interesting. And I know they do a whiskey beer, and maybe variations of the theme, like a rum beer, and maybe in the future imperial stouts. Very interesting. Um, I'd love to, while I was down that way, to do, to chat with people from St. Peter's, even and maybe get them on camera, and see what their hopes and aspirations for the brewery are. Because in this ever-changing world of breweries and beers, what was a craft brewery 15 years ago now is modern traditional. Now today's breweries get classed as craft breweries, and again that cycle will change over time, and that today's craft breweries will become modern traditional in time, and it's always an interesting thing. Anyway, out of 5 for me, a good 4.3 out of 5. A lovely IPA, probably a traditional IPA, and yeah, very nice. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Cheers all.